hello, and welcome to the Rock Metal Podcast. I'm your host, John Harris. Over here on my right-hand side, who might peek in a couple of times, is my right-hand man, Gabriel.
I just came out from the couch. You might not expect me.
I know. This young man is going to travel to unknown heights, baby. So today on Rock Metal Podcast, we have CRANEIUM and the new album called Unknown Heights, coincidentally, released on October 15th via the Sign Records. Right now I'm being joined by Andreas and Joel to share some more information about this stellar release. So boys, man, time to shine again. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having us.
Absolutely. Yeah. Great to have you on. Good stuff. I always enjoy whenever I get things across my desk from old Valdemar at the Sign Records. So take us through this release. It seems, I don't know, kind of, what do I want to say? Doomy? Heavy?
Yeah, well, doomy heavy sounds good. I think we're continuing on something that has become our sound, but perhaps we have evolved it a bit, I would say. Mm-hmm. And I think this record is something that really shows that as well.
Yeah, since this is our third release, the sound, like Andreas said, has evolved a lot, but we're still trying to do doomy, heavy, fuzzy rock music. Yeah. Okay,
so jumping off of what you said, evolving the sound but continuing to do something doomy, fuzzy. Take us through that. How are you guys? Is it like a natural evolution, or are you guys trying to steer the third release in a particular direction?
Well, we have been around for 10 years now, so just keep doing what we have been doing all along, that would be just weird to us. We don't want to just stay in the same place. We want to do something else. And for this kind of music, doomy, heavy, fuzzy rock, we also like when other bands bring in something new, it can be a bit... It can turn out to be quite like repetitive, and that's of course that's what's fun about this music. But we want to bring something new to it as well. So maybe a bit more prog this time. More melodies, more of everything.
Yeah, but I also think that a big part of our sound is that we do have a lot of clean instruments and not using the fuzz doom sound all the time. I mean, we don't want to make something that's gonna be a song and everything is the same. Everything is just fuzz from beginning to end. We want to have dynamic, and we want to have melodies, and we want to do something else than just
like worshipping the riff, staying in that same groove all the time. Yeah. We talk a lot about if you want to be really heavy, then you have to be really light as well. So for something to be conceived that's really heavy, then there needs to be something like completely different in there as well.
Doing a little yin-yang action, baby.
Yeah.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah.
The cycles of life. You know it's heavy because it was just light. And now it's like really heavy, and you're like, I can't handle the weight.
Exactly.
Very cool. Now, I see some acoustic guitars behind you. Let's talk about some clean stuff on the record. Clean can be approached, I don't know, 1,000 different ways. It could even be like a slightly broken up sound all the way to like an acoustic guitar. So how did you guys approach the clean sounds on the record?
Well, I think basically we're just turning off the fuzz pedal and going with the clean sound from the amplifier. But I mean, I'm really into like David Gilmore, and I think I approach playing guitar in that manner, like having this really clean, just clean, nothing else, just clean, and then using the fuzz for the effect and the heaviness. And I don't think we even used acoustic guitars on the record. Everything that's clean is just clean guitars.
Clean electric guitars.
Yeah, clean electric guitars.
Yeah. And what I love about Andreas and his songwriting, or how he like approaches songwriting and making music, is I love how he can like a lot about doomy heavy electric guitars is about like getting the really gnarly like fuzzy sound to sound really well. But I think I really love it when Anko or Andreas puts his effort in like getting a really nice clean sound as well, and like doing layers with the guitars, and not just a clean part of a song can be just as like hard to get to sound right as a really fuzzy, heavy part of a song.
Yeah. If anything, it might be harder because there's fuzz pedals. You could take a shotgun to your speaker cabinet.
Yeah.
You could,
and it would sound the same.
Yeah.
No.
You could throw your amp off of your apartment building. There's a few things of legend. I know I've chatted with a few top Doom producers, and broken equipment is definitely something that shows up on records a lot of times.
Yeah.
You can't do that with a clean amp. Can't throw it off your apartment building.
But this time around, we also got to work with Joona Hassinen from Sweden, who has recorded a lot of, or we approached him because he's done a lot of stuff that we love, and I think this time around we did a lot more fiddling around with sounds and try like. Yeah, it was a new experience to us too, and I think we succeeded.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
and I think we do approach the clean stuff like Joel just said, by building layers and not just putting a few chords in there, but actually like figuring out if this is gonna be clean, it's not just gonna be clean. And the same goes for the fuzz parts. Like we want to have something working within the song besides the riff. So that's why this time around we have a lot of organs and Mellotron sounds, and we have like some cool filter stuff going on in one of the songs, and like Rhodes piano, all these kinds of things as well.
You mentioned a couple of very classic things there. Are they real instruments that were in a studio, or are they, and it's okay if they're plugins because not a lot of studios have a Mellotron kicking around, but
yeah, they were plugins. We would love to do it with the real stuff, but we just don't have the time and money to do that in a studio, and the skills. We actually asked our former bass player to record all these extra things for us.
He's really into synthesizers and all these. So we kind of gave him, well, we gave him like he could do whatever he wanted, but we still, of course, had a lot of opinions and tried to get him to do what we wanted him to do. But since we don't have the skills, we're not really sure what can be done either. I think. So we love him for it. He did a great job, but yeah, with plugins, and hopefully one day we can put some real Mellotrons in there. It would be a dream.
And I think this is a direction we have been wanting to go in for a long time, like really realizing what you can do with other stuff than just guitars, bass, and drums. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, well, some of those instruments you mentioned are classic ways to thicken up and fill up the sound, that you can't even hear. But if you know it's in there, then, you can hear it. But all the way from like Tom Petty up to Pink Floyd, mentioning David Gilmore, how many different... They couldn't afford a boys' choir, so they had to use a Mellotron. And now you can't afford a Mellotron, so we're just going further down the line of things we can't afford.
Yeah.
True.
Which is cool. Sweet. Unknown Heights, third release. We're working on evolving the sound. We chatted a bit about defining that sound. We chatted about David Gilmore, which is cool because, a lot of people bag on EMG pickups and say you can't get a good clean sound out of them, but David Gilmore has been using EMG for a very long time. So that's kind of a fun one to just throw out there. Like, guess what? That's an EMG pickup he's using. What else is there? Mellotrons, Rhodes, organs. Did you guys experiment with anything else? Any new lyrical concepts? Is there a theme to the album?
Well, yeah, kind of. Or the theme for the album, for us, it usually comes like afterwards. We write a bunch of songs and then we try to figure out like a theme through the whole. And since it's us and like our opinions and our thoughts, then there usually is a red or a thread to find. Yeah, to find there like a theme. So we've thought the album is called Unknown Heights, and there's a lot about like personal struggles and stuff you go through, and maybe finding out like more about yourself, finding new things about you through these personal struggles. So there's songs about hoarding, and there's songs about
the darkness of Finnish weather.
Yeah, but yeah, actually the time we are approaching right now, October and November, and these dark times when there's. Well, you're from Canada, you probably know a little bit about it, but like. Sometimes it feels like you're drowning in this darkness, and it doesn't really feel like there's an end to it. And especially these last couple of years, or this last year has been really dark. So, but when you get through those things, then you find out new things about yourself, and maybe you get out stronger somehow.
Mm-hmm. You sound significantly less romantic about Finnish weather than I do. That's for sure.
There's a hate-love relationship.
Yeah. Last winter was really nice with a lot of snow and a lot of it was good. But before the snow comes, it's dark. It's really fucking dark when
You sound so depressed, you will.
I wrote those lyrics.
Is there a hotline? We should call the hotline. It's just so fucking dark. Stay with me. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. It's fucking dark.
No, the hotline is to write lyrics, I think.
Exactly.
So find an outlet for those things you're thinking about, and that's the great thing about being in a band, playing music together with your friends. Very
true. Boom. Message.
Popular guy.
Wait a minute. I am talking to the drummer, so that's got to be at least one of his girlfriends.
One of them.
Good joke.
Thank you. It's got to have a couch to sleep on. Okay. But yeah, funny thing, actually, you mentioned a lot of snow, which is cool. I'm actually surprised how often when I chat with bands from Finland and Scandinavia, how little snow there usually is. Maybe it's because most of the cities are on the coastline where the breeze comes in.
Yeah.
And how warm it is. They're like, oh, it's freezing. I'm like, oh, what temperature? And like, oh, it's like -10. I'm like, okay, well, it's -30 here with like 2 meters of snow. So
yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know why more metal bands come from there than here, because people are like, oh, because it's so dark and cold. I'm like, it's dark and cold here too. Like,
you have the right
fucking dark. It's fucking dark. I have a secret garden and there's a devil in there and I'm shining again. It's in my cranium. Okay. Cool. So we chatted about the album, Unknown Heights, available October 15th via the Sign Records, everywhere you consume music. Go to today's show notes, and in today's show notes you will find craniumband.bandcamp.com, where you can check out more information about the band. You can listen to the music. If you want to listen somewhere else, go right ahead. It's up to you, boo. And in today's show notes will be links to 3 YouTube videos. A Secret Garden, where you find out you have a secret garden. Shine Again, where you find out that eventually spring does come. And then The Devil Drives, which is where we're going right now, because it's so fucking dark. We chatted about defining your own sound, evolving, David Gilmore, Mellotrons. I think it's a complete interview.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Did we miss anything? You boys wanted to chat about anything?
No, that's about it. We're just really happy that the record is coming out, and we're so thankful we get to work with Design Records. A lot of our favorite bands are on there, and it almost feels like we have like a seal of approval to that we're allowed to release music through that incredible label. And yeah, super happy. And we hope everybody listens to the record, and
we're really excited about it finally getting out. We recorded it last summer, and shows are starting to come around again, so we're playing a couple of shows this month. In 2 weeks we have a release gig for this album, so we're really excited just for that you can play again and see people and be live and meet friends and make new ones and just seeing people and playing our music, because that's what we love.
That's what we live for.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a little bit jelly because you guys are going to play some shows, but where I'm at, our political team thought they knew better than the experts, and nobody listened to Uncle Johnny over here saying maybe it's not over yet, and everybody was like, it's totally over. Woo! So now the military is coming to bail us out. That's the only show we get, is our boys are going to come and fight some pandemic crime. Bam, bam, bam.
We're so sorry to hear that, but just power through. Listen to Shine Again. Everybody will shine again.
Yeah. Everybody will shine again. I'm pretty sure it wasn't in a major key when you guys wrote it, but that's do it in minor. Everybody will shine again. I don't know. How do you do minor? I don't know. I'm just not sad enough. Boys,
just wait until the snow comes.
Yes. That's when all the bands typically from Sweden come over and they complain about how cold it is. Like, oh, it's cold. I'm like, aren't you from Sweden?
Well, depends on which part from Sweden or Finland you're from.
This is true. It's very true.
Winter could be minus 30 degrees, or it could be plus 5.
Very true. Yeah. A lot of the ones that came through last time were from Gothenburg, which I understand mostly just rains. Doesn't really snow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Well, boys, thank you so much for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast today.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.